Today we're going to be ranking cover card monsters. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. So this is going to be a little bit of a strange tier list for those of you who do follow the channel that do appreciate things like card artwork. If you wanted to just like take a little bit of a nostalgic journey through some of these cards, guys, I'm going to be basically ranking them by how much I like them as like a card that's kind of just like this tier list mentions. It's just cards that were card cover art, like on structure decks and packs and things like that. Starting straight off with Horus of the Black something. If you guys don't know, if you guys are brand new to the channel over here, I am a returning player, okay? So a lot of this has been escaping my memory. Horus of the Black something, I believe this is. But I've always, dude, I remember growing up, I think thinking this card was so cool, man. Especially like as a card that like covered the art of the pack or the box or whatever it was. Dude, this thing does the job, especially in Secret Rare. Very, very, very cool. This is going to go straight into the S tier, man. Of course, I forgot to mention we're going to be ranking from S all the way to NA. NA being some cards that I'm not familiar with, but maybe we can rank them anyways, okay? Now for Galaxy Eyes. Guys, if you do not know, I am a big, big, big fan of the Galaxy Eye monsters. I've always thought they were beautiful. One day I cannot wait to make a card art commentary on them. I am putting this one also straight up into the S tier, okay? I have no idea what the Synchro card is or the Slink monster is, so we're throwing these into the NA, okay? Don't recognize this dude either. We're throwing a few of them in NA, okay? Stardust Dragon. Guys, Stardust Dragon is one of my favorite cards of all time. Like the Galaxy Eyes cards, I've always liked Stardust Dragon. Shooting Star Dragon is another card that we're going to be talking about. Anything like Stardust related, I've personally also really enjoyed, so we are also going to be throwing this bad boy into the S tier ahead of the other cards, okay? Now, Relinquished. Man, back in the day, when everybody was watching the anime show, everybody was like on top of Relinquished. Everybody thought it was like a super cool, menacing monster. When you were able to get that thing out in the field, it was very powerful. But I'm not like too big on Relinquished like a lot of other people might be, and I'm going to put this one into the C tier. Relinquished is just okay. I recognize this card, but I don't recall the name of it. But it's a cool monster. We're putting him into the B tier. Okay, now is this Dark Paladin? I believe this is Dark Paladin. Back in the day, thought it was pretty cool. This one's also going to go into the B tier. Ah! It's like Zerato or something like that, this card. I know this one. Guys, I hope this video is still enjoyable for you. If you're taking this journey with me, then just please, like, here's the thing. I don't want to be one of those guys, and the way that I can relate it is to, like, actors. You know how people who just see someone, like, ridiculously famous like The Rock, and they're like, yeah, I don't know who this Rock guy is, but, yeah, I guess he's pretty cool. Or, does anybody else not care, like, what The Rock does? Like, when in reality, nobody really cares, but it's just, like, everybody does know who The Rock is. I feel kind of awkward uploading these videos sometimes, and I don't remember a lot of these cards. There are some of these cards that I haven't seen since I was a kid. There are cards that I've had very little interaction with, and there's a lot to remember within this game. So I don't ever want to come off as one of those guys where it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't give too much of a fuck. You know what I mean? I hope I don't come off that way. Hopefully you're enjoying this journey with me. If there's cards that I don't remember, there's cards that I don't remember. I hope the video is still enjoyable, okay? So this monster, I remember it very clearly, but it's going to go to the C tier right with Relinquish. Not familiar with this bad boy over here. Clearwing Synchro Dragon, though. You know, I think it does the job. It's like it's really good as just a main stake from a pack or something like that. It's a very good card. It was very good the time that it came out. I think this one is going to go over into the A tier, okay? Not familiar with this like monster here, or this monster, or this pendulum monster. Dude, what the hell is this card? This card looks like a Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman, but I don't think that is. But you know what? I kind of think the card art looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. We're going to throw this one to the C tier, okay? Now, Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. This one, I remember very clearly. Very, very, very clearly. Guys, remember when the Assault Mode cards came out and people were using them and were like, oh my god, these boss monsters, they're insane with Assault Mode activate? I remember it as well. And with Red Dragon Archfiend instead of Stardust Dragon, dude, this is a good one. I'm putting this one into the A tier. Right behind Clearwing Synchro Dragon or Synchro Clearwing something. Synchro Dragon, I'm pretty sure it is, okay? NA for this one. This is a Berserker card. I know this one. Dude, it's going to sound so stupid if it's not anything like that. Oh my god, there's a couple cards down here that I like. I have just unlocked some memories with me, okay? But anyways, I think this card's pretty cool. It does the job. It's a nice boss monster. We're putting this bad boy into the B tier as well. Top of B tier. Now for Black Skull Dragon. You know, growing up, there were a lot of kids that like really thought this card was like the coolest thing in the world. And I couldn't really like relate all that much to it. I thought it was cool. I remember like having the card. It was like a cool piece of artwork, but nothing really stood out to me. So I'm going to put this one to the C tier right behind Relinquished, okay? We're going to go NA for a couple of these here. Now, Magician. Is this Magician of Black Chaos? I believe that's Magician of Black Chaos. I'm going to look so stupid if some of these are wrong, guys. But, again, I'm not too big, and if you guys have been following the channel, you might know that I'm not too big on some Magician cards. I think it's okay. We're going to throw this one into the C tier as well. Top of C tier, though. Mask of Restrict. I don't even remember this being on the front of a pack. But, I mean, like... It's a little strange for a trap card. I know we have Last Turn over there too, but really? I don't know, man. I just feel like a trap card doesn't really do it too much justice. Am I wrong? I think it's cool, but like as the front card of a pack or something, you know? Mask of Restrict isn't even that great either. I mean, at the time, like maybe it was all right. And guys, I'm throwing this one to the D tier. Not a trap card. Not too big on that, okay? This looks like a red dragon thing that I'm not familiar with. Now, Rainbow Dragon. Guys, coming from somebody who likes, who was always a big Yu-Gi-Oh! GX guy. By the way, if you're ever looking for some reviews on our movie, TV show, anime show review channel, we have reviews for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX over there. Full deep dive reviews. You can go check it out. Link in the description, Linktree, or the direct links. Anyways, Rainbow Dragon. This is a big boss monster. Deserving to be on the front cover of something. It did the job. It was hype back in the day. This one's definitely going to go into the S tier, but I'm going to put this one at the bottom of S tier, okay? Now, this Odd Eyes monster, I know what the name's escaping me of the Odd Eyes monster, does the job. Does the job. It is a wonderful card to be on the front. I'm putting this bad boy into the A tier, at the top of A tier, okay? I don't know these three. We're going to throw these three into the NA. Oh, the Elemental Hero. Dude, you know what's crazy? Is I've played this game throughout my entire life. It's crazy to me that something like this Elemental Hero, somebody who's run heroes for... I've always run a hero deck, like the entirety of myself playing this game. I don't recall the name of some of these. How does it escape my memory? But I remember this card not being too good. That's probably why it's escaping my memory. I've never used this card before. Is it a Neos card? But I think it looks cool. I've always liked the artwork on it. Low B tier for this one. Low B tier. Is this a Predaplant monster? Could be wrong about that. We're going NA for this one either. Now, Last Turn, just like Mask of Restrict, I'm not too big on having a trap card into as the cover art. I don't know. I think it's a little bit strange. We're putting this one to the D tier. Okay, now Shooting Star Dragon. There are a few cards that I like better than Stardust Dragon, and Shooting Star Dragon is one of them. This is one of my favorite cards. Like, don't get me wrong, I tried to run the plant decks to synchro summon this thing, but it was always too complicated for me. I could never really make it work. I've always loved the card and its art, though. I think it is phenomenal. I think it's an excellent boss monster. We're putting this right ahead of Stardust Dragon. This is the best boss monster, the best cover art card that we can have on pack right now, okay? Thousand Eyes Restrict. Much better than Relinquished. Much more intimidating than Relinquished. Much cooler than Relinquished. But it doesn't really stack up to the things in the A tier, so I'm going to put this one at the top of B tier, okay? Now let's continue on to two cards that I'm not familiar with, and then Power Tool Dragon. Ooh, Power Tool and Ancient Fairy are interesting. Did they come out around the same time? I could be wrong about that. But I think, like, I don't know, they did a good job in, like, you know, being the cover of stuff. I hope I'm not saying the same thing for a lot of cards. But I always like them, man. They come from a good era. I'm putting both these into the A tier, okay? I'm going to put Power Tool right behind Odd Eyes and Ancient Fairy at the bottom of A tier, okay? Now, Elemental Hero, Shining Flare, Wingman. Where's that other card that looked like it? Where was it? Where was it? There was a card that, this one. Is it Shining Flare, Wingman? It does look like that, doesn't it? Yeah, I can see the little bit of Neos here. I can see it. I'm on to him. Oh, hey, I don't know that card, but we're going to go with Elemental Hero. It's a fusion monster that requires Shining Flare, Wingman, and Elemental Hero Neos. Tell me if I'm right. But Shining Flare, Wingman, man, I loved this card too. I loved this card. I always wanted to get it out. In the grand scheme of things, it wasn't like the greatest card in the world, but dude, this card was peak back in the day. I love the artwork for it. I know that this tier list is like not the most structured thing in the world, but we're putting this guy into the S tier, okay? We're putting Shining Flare Wingman right ahead of Rainbow Dragon, okay? Now, Black Rose Dragon, iconic card, did the job. Everybody was running it when this card came out. Black Rose Dragon is absolutely going to go into the S tier. Bottom of S tier, though, okay? Don't know what this card is. This card looks familiar, and it looks just like this card. That's why I probably do know it. We're going to put this into the B tier as well. This is a Leviathan Dragon. Oh, Leviair. Leviair. I know the effect. You get the banished monster back to the field. Level 4 lower, I believe it is. Leviair the Sea Dragon? Could be wrong about that one. But again, does a job. This is something that back in the day, everybody was running when it first came out. Do people still play this card? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I think this one's okay. We're going to put this one into the B tier. Top of B tier for this card, okay? Top of B tier. Now, Cyber End Dragon does the job as a monster at the on the cover art. Does the job. It is a true boss monster. It was a phenomenal card back in the day if you could possibly get it out. Very, very good. S tier for this card for sure. I'm going to put this one at the bottom of S tier though, okay? Now, ooh, I know this card. I know this card. You know, sometimes they're right on the tip of my tongue, man. They're right on the tip of my tongue. You know what I'm going to do, guys? There's a few here that I see that I don't exactly recognize. So we're going to leave them there. And I'm going to just keep, like, going through all of these, okay? I know this guy, but we're going to leave him. Ancient Gear Golem. Perfect boss monster back in the day. Coming from the GX era. Coming from people who used to love watching the show. Ancient Gear Golem was presented as, like, this huge, incredible, imposing boss monster that nobody could possibly ever take on, and it did a really, really good job doing so. So I'm also actually going to put this into the S tier. I'm going to put Ancient Gear Golem right behind Galaxy Eyes. Okay, I think it does a great job right there. Now, Cyberdark. Man, when the Cyberdark cards came out, I remember how hyped I was to see him. It was like a cool take on the Cyber Dragons, and it was a unique effect. Like, nobody could ever make the Union monsters work, but it kind of had that spin on it as well. Cyberdark, I remember it being Cyberdark Impact. Cyberdark Impact, I was so excited to get all these cards just for them to be so underwhelming. My dad was awesome, though. He bought me every single card. Cyberdark Impact is gotta go. Man, as a cover art, yeah, S tier. S tier. This did the job, man. We're putting Cyberdark Impact right ahead of Shining Flare Wingman. Very, very cool card for a cover, okay? Now, Ravael, Lord of the Phantasms. Like God cards, the Sacred Beasts are great. Great boss monsters. Great cover art cards. This, like, you could feel how imposing the card is on the package, you know? I remember wanting these cards so bad, too. We're putting this one to the S tier as well. We're going to put them. Ooh. We're putting him behind Galaxy Eyes. Very good card, okay? Now, I remember this one. I remember how cool the card was. S tier as well. We're putting it right behind the horse, the black dragon or whatever his name is. I'm also going to move my face cam maybe down there. Yeah, that's probably the best spot to put it, okay? Let's continue on to an Elemental Hero Neos card that nobody ever used, but it did the job. B tier for this one. Right behind Thousand Eyes Restrict, okay? Honest. You know, Honest is a cool card, but then again, Honest is an iconic card. Everybody used Honest. I mean, as long as Honest could work in your deck, everybody was using Honest back in the day. I remember how, like, game-changing this card was. Like, oh my god, does my opponent have an Honest? I think it does the job. We're going to throw Honest over into the A tier. Right behind Red Dragon Archfiend. Okay, now, this looks like a Utopia card, but I don't recognize it. Also, this card is an oldie that I recognize. The artwork looks cool. It looks like something that can run a pack, you know? We're going to also put this one to the B tier. Right. You know what? Run the B tier, okay? The Creator. Oh, this does the job, man. Oh, as a cover art? Yes, sir. This is a cool boss monster back in the day as well. The Creator's definitely going to the S tier, guys. Definitely. We're going to put the Creator right ahead of Cyber Red Dragon. Okay, let's continue on to Blue Eyes White Dragon. What can we say? One of the most iconic monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh history. One of the most iconic pieces of art in Yu-Gi-Oh history. But I don't quite like it as much as the Shooting Star Dragon, the Galaxy Eyes, Ravael maybe. Blue Eyes does the job, though, and I'm going to put Blue Eyes right behind Ancient Gear Golem. And keep in mind, guys, this is how much I like them as the covers for their stuff, okay? Exodia Necros, let's continue on to. I've always liked the Exodia cards. The problem is this card was so lackluster that nobody ever used it ever. But I still think it's super cool. You know, like, for what it was supposed to be, if Exodia Necros is, like, as terrifying as it was back in the show, then yeah, this could definitely be a force to be reckoned with, but it didn't work in the modern game, okay? We're going to put this one into the A tier, bottom of A tier, okay? Let's continue on. This is a Majestic Dragon. I know it is, and this one is cool. We're going to put it into the B tier. Right behind Levier, okay? Odin. Oh, I know this one. Number 108, I believe it is. I believe this is number 108. Very, very strong card. I know this card. I know it. The number might be escaping me, okay? Ooh, I didn't even know this was a cover card, but I think it does the job. A tier as well. We're going to put this one right behind Exodia Necros, okay? Now, Odin. Guys, Odin is a phenomenal card. Odin is a very cool card. Odin was a usable card back in the day. Felt like a true boss monster. The few times that you were, like, able to run into it. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, the Nordic cards in general were, like, pretty... I don't want to say groundbreaking, but it was, like, something that everybody was paying attention to, and Odin himself is a boss monster enough. It has enough aura as a card, I will say. You know? We're putting Odin. Ooh, do we put Odin over into the S tier as well? I think we might have to. Yeah. I think it's really cool as a cover card. We're going to put Odin. Where am I going to throw this guy? Right... No, we're going to put him right behind Blue Eyes, okay? Let's continue on. What else do we know over here? Volcanic Doomfire. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Back in the day, this card was so cool. I loved Axel's deck in the GX show. I wanted to make this card work, but it never could. And then it got support like years down the road, and I wasn't interested in the archetype anymore. It was painful. The games that I lost due to this, to try to make the Volcanic decks work. But, man, as a cover card, yes. Yes. We're putting this guy right behind Ancient Gear Golem, all right? Let's continue on over to Air Neos. Air Neos, the problem is it had the same kind of deal as this. It was so useless, but it was still cool at the same time. I'm going to put this one into the B tier as well. Actually, right next to him, okay? We're going to put it right behind 1,000 Eyes Restrict. But for my own complete biased opinion, next up we have the, is this Phoenix Enforcer? I've always just really liked the artwork for this card. I got excited when this card came out. I thought it was very cool. Added it to the collection immediately. We're putting this guy into the S tier. I love this card. Love this card. We're going to put him right behind Ravael. Okay, let's see what else we can gather from over here, okay? I don't believe we know any of the other cards here, unfortunately, guys. And again, I hope it was still enjoyable to watch, even though, like, I'm not familiar with a lot of the modern cards, but, like, these old cards, man, I remember seeing them on packs. It's very nostalgic. Hopefully this video was still enjoyable. If you want to watch a little bit more of a tier list, why don't you check out where we ranked every card that Yugi had based on their artwork. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.